Well, time to reset my clock again tomorrow morning. My sobriety clock. Every time before I use, I always critically examine my reasons, my motivations, justifications, rationalizations. And I went and got Kratom. I didn't get any heroin. I'm not using Suboxone. I think I've decided that I'm just going to go back to trauma therapy because it's like the number one source of my use. I know, it's so unique, right? Nobody can relate to this. So last night, I have so much trauma associated with abandonment issues and loss and death. And being in a relationship with someone who is really sick during a pandemic, it was already bad enough. Like, it was already hard enough for me to be in a relationship with someone with stage 4 cirrhosis, let alone be in a relationship with someone with stage 4 cirrhosis during a fucking pandemic. Like, if he gets sick, there ain't no way he's gonna make it. No way. No way. I guarantee you. Like, he already is not doing great, so it adds a whole bunch more trauma. And it's not just anxiety, it's like for example, last night he went into the studio, no one was there, to do some work, and I stopped shaving my armpits because I got lazy. I really like it because when I sweat, which is often when I'm in withdrawal, because I'm always in withdrawal, the sweat doesn't run down my arm, it stays in the hair, so that's why I have it. I kind of like how the other way looks, but anyway, I digress. So yeah, last night was the first night that I was like alone in the home by myself, sober. And it was terrifying. It was terrifying. Like, I don't even want to think of the day when I have to, like, clean out the rooms and his stuff. And, like, here we are getting a new house, and it's supposed to be the best time of our lives. Whatever that means, right? Like, there's this quote that I like. Our plans never turn out as tasty as reality. Well, ain't that the truth? But I just couldn't even go there. I couldn't even be home until I went and got 2 shooters and took some Xanax and smoked some weed. Like, this is the level of sedation required to make it so that facing that loss is bearable. And that's, I don't want that to be there. So last time I was in trauma therapy for 2 years, and I went like every week. And I remember that my desire to use, to drink, everything, it totally went away. Now, it was really hard work. It was the most painful thing I ever been through. And I guess I kind of thought that, like, oh, one and done, I've worked on my issues with my mom, but this abandonment stuff and this, like, fear of losing those I love, well, that might be a different piece to the puzzle. And I know it's never completely over. Our healing is never one and done, but I guess maybe naively I thought it would be, or I thought, boy, since I put in so much work for 2 years that I'm good, I got this now. But no, I don't think so. So yeah, I've decided to go back to trauma therapy because, I know it's going to cost money, but it's like, this is my life we're talking about here. It's always the triggers that cause me to relapse from trauma, my heightened nervous system. And having autism doesn't help one thing at all, because I have, like, heightened sensory shit anyway. so it's like I feel like I have a couple of things working against me, one of which I can control, which is the PTSD, because I can go to therapy for that. I can't go to therapy for my autism to change my brain to, well, I'm sure I can. There's something called neurobiofeedback, but I don't have money for that. And quite frankly, my heightened sense of senses, my sensory processing disorder, comes with additional gifts as well, like psychic ability, so like dreams that come true, stuff like that, and the ability to map people pretty well. But I can also be really naive and gullible. So anyway, I've decided to go back to trauma therapy because something I'm doing isn't working, and I've also reached out to someone in the harm reduction community who's in the UK that I made friends with on Facebook, because he mentors people. So I just need more support. I need more help. I need more support. You know, like, I used to go to meetings, even though I hate 12-step. I hate everything about them. It was something to do. It actually like release those chemicals in my brain, the oxytocin and the dopamine sometimes. Even though I had this like sick trade-off of codependency and being part of a cult, I just don't feel like there's a lot of resources right now, and I don't want to go back to 12-step. I have no desire to do that. I want to be connected, but it's like so hard to be connected on Zoom. Thought about going back to rehab, but it's like, I don't know. I can't leave Eric with all of my dogs. Honestly, he can't take care of them. And I don't want to spend another fucking penny on rehab. Like, it's just the same shit. I would think it would be better to do just trauma therapy. Yeah, it's a big commitment that I am making to myself to go back and dive into this shit, because it's affecting my life in a way, not only with substance use, but it's also affecting my relationship. Like, I'm noticing a difficulty getting close to Eric. Oh my god, such a difficulty getting close. Like I don't want to touch him, you know, because it's like the closer I get and the more love that I feel, well, the more it's just gonna hurt in the end. So then I end up having all this guilt, you know, because he's like not fucking dead yet, but I can't connect. So I've identified another problem. And like Terence McKenna told Ram Dass when they were traveling in India, or somebody, one of those guys, psychedelic people, he said, "How many times do I have to tell you, Ram Dass? We don't have a problem, we need a plan." So, you know, I have all these little tools, little devices that I use, but they're the COVID testing site. Jesus Christ. So yeah, that's what I've decided to do.